welcome back to another Wise Guys Barbecue podcast. I'm the left side, Charlie. I'm here with my partner in crime, strong side, Vin Picaro, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, from cooking to barbecue sauce to types of barbecue. It's going to be a good episode, Vin.
Yeah, no, you basically ran the program this week, and I loved everything you picked, so I can't wait to get into it. But I got to tell you, we could talk about dirt right now, and I'd still be excited because I had a great day. I had one of my, I'm going to call it, top-notch days. I had my good days, I had my bad days. Today was top-notch. We were cooking, Charlie, all day today. It was fantastic. It was great. We had Bob Bowman in here today. So we had, the idea was, the theme was the butcher, right? The butcher wanted to take down your 4-pound chicken, bring it into a 10-piece chicken spread, and what you can do with that chicken. So he came in later on and butchered, but the first thing we did, Bob did some competition thighs for us. And that was fantastic. He went through the whole process from package to trim to injection to the skin preparation, on the smoker, making the sauce, dipping the sauce, back on the smoker.
You smoked outside today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Olivia, it was Olivia.
20 degrees out there.
It was freezing. It was cold. And that affected some of our timing because
Yeah.
Bob really wanted to say, hey, look, this is how it works. First turn in chicken, 12 o'clock, usually around 9 o'clock, you're doing X, Y, and Z. And we said, we're going to run this like an event. And we were off by about 30 minutes. Unfortunately, but it was more the weather than anything else. It was two parts of the cook that went over by about 20% time-wise because there you go. It was just too cold out there. But it was a great time. And then Tommy did come in a little later on, and he did butcher down those chickens. And he did a whole stock profile, putting a stock together, which we're going to be doing Italian wedding soup from it.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's coming up in next week. And then he also did a fried chicken that he
Guys, you got to see when you see these videos. I'm just going to tell you, behind the scenes, I got to eat some of this stuff today.
Yeah, we save you a little.
Bob's competition chicken thighs, and we know I'm not a big chicken thigh guy, but they were on point. Flavor, tenderness, appearance, excellent. And Tommy's fried chicken, buttermilk fried chicken, right? Is that what you're calling it?
Buttermilk, yeah. He marinates it like 4 or 5
Nice.
hours in buttermilk, and then he goes the double dredge on the coating, so it was nice and crispy. He fries them out about 6 minutes, 3 minutes aside in the oil, 350 degrees. He's just great at it.
Yeah, it was off the chain. Where do you see this fried chicken? I mean, the color, the texture, it's perfect.
Wait till you listen to it. He actually, when he bit a drumstick, and he took the drumstick and he just went with a fork. It was like a credit card. It was awesome.
Can't wait to see that.
So that was good. So you have a lot of goodies over here. What's going on over here?
Well, we've been talking on the show about, we need to get our own rubs and sauce going on here as part of what we do here on the podcast, that we should have something, especially with Tommy the Butcher.
Yep.
In his experience, putting together rubs and dry rubs and sauce. And so, I was out of action for the last 6 weeks. I was just
doing research.
Yeah, I was doing research. I was just ordering
some of the best research you've ever done.
Ordering barbecue sauce and watching videos, and
so that's awesome. So this is like we're looking for Cinderella's slipper here.
Yeah.
Right?
So I said, if we're gonna do our own sauce today, let's take a look at some of the stuff that's out there. And I just went. Listen, you can get the stuff on Amazon. I went on Amazon and looked at some of the higher reviews and came up with six suspects here for the lineup. Nice. And we're gonna taste each one with some delicious pork shoulder from Rico Polo on Chalkstone Avenue in Providence.
Okay, what's that? What's that about? Now, is that a restaurant or is that?
That's a Dominican restaurant.
Okay,
where they do pork shoulder and all kind of chicharrones, which we love.
Oh yeah.
And they
so
do
friggin' addictive.
Yeah, so they're a very good staff. Just a little hole in the wall, which those are the best ones.
Yeah. I laugh because I got to give a shout out to my brother, because my brother listens to our podcast quite a bit. I think weekly. I don't hear from him weekly, but I did hear from him last week because we were talking about the Super Bowl cooks. He's like, Jesus Christ, you cooked all that food on the Super Bowl. And I'm like, yeah, well, I got a problem. I like to cook, but it's the best. Felix, here's to you. It's the best part of what we do is we get to cook and we get to eat. Yeah. So I wanted to give him a quick shout out because he's not negative. He's more in like amazed. He's like a deer in the spotlights of a car or something.
Like, why would you do that to yourself? Right?
Stop it.
Buy it and buy your beer and enjoy the game. Yeah, no. My man here loves to feed people, which is why I love him.
He
feeds me a lot.
It's an addiction. And everybody in my life that I know is probably my mother, my Kristen, Sue, everybody, we all do the same. And Sue gets real paranoid, right? Because she knows exactly where it's going to go. And I'm like, no, my new plight is no. We're going to cook. We're going to give it away. Everybody should eat, not us. So I think our neighbors are going to love us even more. But so we got some sauce. So we're going to save that for a little bit. Want to jump into something else? You want to get into that?
Listen, the only other thing I got kicking on over the week is our good friend and contributor Ellen Stancliffe and I had lunch up at La Galena which is in the Market Street Mall in Linfield, which is a great shopping center, great stores, great restaurants. It's just a neat place if you've never been. It's from Providence, it's about an hour ride up near Burlington. So we were just kicking it and having some lunch and talking about, of course, Wise Guys Barbecue Podcast. And she said, hey, you guys never, she mentioned this Santa Maria barbecue. And I was like, boy, that sounds familiar. She goes, well, out in Central California, you've got Santa Barbara, which is by the ocean. Then you've got the mountain range. And on the other side of that mountain range is about a 30 square mile of valley where they developed this Santa Maria barbecue style. And I was fascinated. I said, oh, well, I need to know about it. And she turned me on to some information, and
cool.
I got a little article up on Rhode Island Barbecue News website. Will come out next week probably.
It'll be out Saturday.
Saturday,
yeah, sure.
Okay, and you guys can check into it, but we can talk about that.
Yeah. So what's it all about? I mean, I know a little bit about Argentinian cooking, and that's where the Santa Maria grill originated from. Yep. And I know it's different than our barbecue, right?
It's not your traditional smoker. It's a grill with a rack over the grill and a kind of like a hand crank wheel on the side where you can raise and lower the grill surface and control your temperature that way.
Correct. Correct. And I look at it like, our traditional smokers, right, are a closed chest.
Correct.
Charcoal, wood, pellets, and you're creating a smoke in there, and you're slow and low, 250, 275, and your hours, right? All right. So Santa Maria, same challenges.
Yeah, it's all barbecue, and it's an area of ranches,
right,
out there. Cattle ranches and all kinds of crazy stuff, horse ranches. And back in the 1800s and early 1900s, they needed to feed all their hands, the guys working there. So they got in the thing of cooking these big chunks of beef because there was cattle out there, big chunks of beef on these grills and feeding huge quantities of workers.
Sure.
With that, which is, right up barbecue's alley, right? Making a ton of good meat, feeding a ton of people. And it's just became a very communal thing out there in that valley.
So you hit the nail on the head. I mean, when you're talking to Santa Maria, you're talking the opposite of slow and low. You're going hot and fast.
Yep.
Right? Everything is on that grill, and that grill is piping hot. And that's why they have different devices on the grill that either spin the meat away from the fire at times or raise it above the fire.
Correct.
Because that's the only ways they have to control it, right, is just how close or how far away they get it from the actual heating element. And what's amazing is, and I love this about Argentinian cook, that's the whole trick, right? It's not the prep, it's not the smoke. It comes down to two things: how they butcher their meat, depending on how they're going to cook it, and then how they cook it, right? If they might take a brisket or a tri-tip, and they don't cut it like we would cut a traditional tri-tip, which would be a nice big loaf triangle of meat that would smoke. They might, cut it differently because they're going hot and fast and they want to get this thing cooked out.
It's more chunks.
Yeah, and just whatever it is, like they have a lot of different techniques. It's not any one thing, but it's amazing that like when you taste it and wow, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't get smoke. Oh yeah, I didn't smoke it. Well, I didn't get sauce. Like, oh yeah, you didn't sauce. I mean, it's the meat. It's just the cooking and butchering process that makes it phenomenal. It's really good.
Yeah, what else was? You're right. The cut of meat, and what started fascinating is we had talked about tri-tip early along in our podcast career.
Yep.
And in the 50s, Santa Maria really started cooking. Tri-tip became like the go-to cut that they would make on there, and they really that's the traditional cut now that's used in this style of cooking. Fuel, redwood fuel that they get from the local area.
Right, sticks.
Yep, redwood, big sticks and logs, and a very simple rub.
Yeah.
Very simple rub of salt, coarse salt, pepper, garlic powder. And then guys start throwing their own stuff in there. I was watching this one guy threw this stuff like black lava salt from Hawaii and put that in there. Yeah, and another guy had a Szechuan pepper seasoning from Chinatown in San Francisco he put in there.
Sure.
So after you get that basic, rub ingredients, guys experiment with it a lot. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I taunt it, and again, my experience, because I don't have to have every cooker under the sun, so I go slow. But I did want to venture off to this a little bit, but Sue's a little bit like concerned, like, oh, where are you gonna put that? What are you gonna use it for? And I'm like, well, it's totally different. It's something I want to try, and I like to give it a shot at. But then she's right. Like, how much food can you cook? Like I'm gonna go out on this thing and do 3 briskets, and I don't know, and it can get a little obnoxious. But yeah, I think one of these is in my future, even if it's a smaller one. There are some cool brands I've been keeping my eye on, and yeah, I like to give it a shot. But it's a totally different cook for me because I'm one of those guys that, I'm prep, smoke, relax, and then serve. Right? This, you got to be on point. You got to be moving the fire. You got to be moving the meat, or you're going to.
Yeah, more attention definitely has to be put on the process.
Absolutely,
you have to keep an eye on it because obviously the fuel is sticks, is wood, so you're going to have to keep maintain your fire throughout the cooking process. But yeah, it looks very interesting. So check that article out on Ryan Barbecue News website.
Right,
and a lot of cool information, and then some. Well, we'll have some decent pictures up there by the time it gets there.
No, it'll be great. It'll be.
Vin doesn't like my pictures.
Well, they don't.
It's all right.
They don't render well, but other than that, I love them. They're great pictures. If you look at this little piece of paper, but
next time I'll just draw it. Crazy.
So that's no. I'm dying to. I saw you submit it. I haven't got to edit it yet, and I might not even edit it. I might actually push this onto a different editor for us. Yeah, no.
So it's not that Kristen Piccaro.
No, she's
because
from
you have a slight problem with her.
Yeah, you can.
Chris, I don't know why you're ducking me. I thought you were going to come on the show, and you seem to be avoiding me, but that's all right. I understand why. God, am I going to get it?
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna get it.
You are going to get it for sure. So some other interesting news too. I heard today. While I was talking and filming with Bob, he mentioned because we talk about, hey, what are we going to tell our listeners? What do we want to keep interest in? And it's hard right now because it's the beginning of the season, right? Where things don't really kick off until April, May, and then it gets nuts. But until it kicks off, it's a little quiet. So, it's a little different. And I always say, Bob's my like tie in to the competitive world of what's going on. And even he said it. He said, no, he goes, I got nothing going on. I'm just, I'm doing my cooks. He did, he's doing his catering company, yada. But he did tell me about this competition in Minnesota this weekend. It's,
Minnesota in February.
So you're going to love this. It's actually named Fire on Ice. So it's a lake. And you know how they turn lakes over into roads and stuff. But it has to be 24 inches of ice, and it's measured very well because they let the cooks bring their trailers. Because you can't
drive right onto the lake.
They drive right onto the lake, set up, and stay the 3 days, or the 2 days, 21st, 22nd, and then they run their competition. And it sounds fantastic. If I knew about it a little bit more, maybe I would have looked into it. Tough time for me this time of year. But regardless, love to see it. Something totally different. But what was really cool was he mentioned to me about Humphrey Smoker. He's like, oh, yeah, the Humphreys are going up there. They're competing. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
Wait, they make smokers, correct?
Yes.
But they also have a competition barbecue team?
Well, they do. Exactly. So you hit it, right? So it's, what are their names? I'm going to forget. I'm going to get mad. Chad and Nicole Humphrey. They're fantastic. I met them last year in August at Corey Keir's. They're a huge supporter and what do you call that? I mean, sponsor,
Yep.
Huge sponsor of that with the Shriners. So the Shriners and Kathy Trainer and the Humphreys do a great job up there, and they reserve that competition because to be something they compete in. I think they eliminate themselves from winning, but they like to do all the good fun.
Is this competition in Minnesota? Is this an established, like it's been going on for years, or is this?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a one shot.
Nope.
They just came up with okay.
Yeah, because that was my question to Bob. I was like, so who's going? And he's like, the Humphreys. And I'm like, yeah, but anybody from New England? No, they're from Maine. Yeah, the Humphreys. I'm like, all right, stop. I was like, somebody I know is somebody, no. The only like local New England team is the Humphreys, and they're going up. Chad and Nicole are going to be there competing. So we wish them the best of luck. I met them once. I'm I want to say I'm envious of them. I just really respect them because they have a fantastic product. You talk to Bill Gillespie from Smoking Hogs. He got on a Humphreys, I think, back in maybe 2012.
You're right. I did remember him mentioning that. That's correct.
He won't smoke on anything else.
Yep.
And it seems like everybody in New England has a Humphreys smoker in their entourage of equipment. They just love it. It just does certain things. I've never cooked on it, so I don't have any experience. But there's just some really super comments that come out of cooking on that smoker. So I love the fact that Chad and Nicole are looking to do more competitions this year. They want to, in Bob's words exactly, they want to step up their game and compete. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you do more promotions? He's like, no, they just want to go out to more competitions and be in the field. And I'm like, well, that's great. So we wish him the best with that. And we'd love to hear all about Fire on the Ice this weekend and how you did and what you thought. And I pulled up the weather quick. Minus 22 degrees. So, come on. There's got to be some parts of
telling me
that's
that
not fun.
there's like a huge storm going through the Midwest too. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn I heard that there's a nasty storm going through there. But yeah, hey, it's Minnesota. It should be.
Yeah. So, I'm dying to hear about how that goes. I'm going to check back with Bob and with the actual competition themselves, and then maybe we can ring up Chad and Nicole, and we can.
There's going to have to, I guarantee there's going to be a ton of stuff on that we'll be able to find online.
Oh, yeah.
And,
they have their own Facebook and they have their own
we'll
website.
get a good report on that, definitely.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking here for some of the details on this competition, and it seems like maybe the first one was in 2018 because they have a little article about Fire and Ice BBQ Championship, a look back at 2018. So I think that might have been when they kicked off, which would, maybe 7 years ago?
Yep.
Which is kind of cool. And they have 42 teams that compete. The buy-in is really low, which, I guess it would have to get me out in minus 22 degree weather. It would have to, but they have a lot of nice prizes here, a lot of nice trophies. So maybe the Humphreys will take something home, and if they don't, it doesn't matter.
Does that give you any kind of a some of these things have an invite to the Jack or something like that?
Yeah, no, I don't see any automatics here, so I didn't hear that.
Automatic bids. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no, I don't see an automatic, but I could be completely wrong.
Okay. I just want to give a quick shout out to the Fight Factory in 3 Bridal Avenue in West Warwick. We've got a big event on March 22nd, starting at 5 p.m. It's USA Boxing tournament, the Vic DiCaprio tournament. It's a $30 admission. There's raffles, live music, food, whatever you want. It's going to be a great time. They put on a great show there. If you want tickets, you can contact Franco at 369-2667 or at Franco COM42 on, I don't know what the hell that is. Facebook, I guess. I don't know. Go to the Facebook site Fight Factory in West Warwick. Great show on March 22nd. Hope I see you there.
Technology has passed him.
God, I just can't do it. Sad.
You actually been doing really well.
Have I? Thanks.
Yeah,
Coming from you, that means a lot.
No
Usually you just tell me what a
when I first started the
dope
video,
I
and I
am.
was like, "Oh boy, this is going to be tough."
Yeah.
But no, you've been moving right along. I like it.
Well, you know how to turn the computer on, right?
Yeah, that's it. I love when you come back to me like 6 months later and goes, well, "What's the freaking password again?"
You know, and let me tell you something. I needed it a week. It took me a week to get the courage up to ask you what the password
Put it in your
was.
contacts.
Shut up, you.
Put it in my contacts so when you call me, you're like, "Oh, here it is." What are you drinking over there? Fresca?
Fresca.
Oh my God.
They're delicious.
Are they good for you? Like, for guys like us?
Don't know, but it's no calories, so
No,
it's
that's
good for me.
That's good. They were bad. So I've been
low sodium, low sugar.
I've been doing some nostalgic movies, and all you hear about is Fresca and Tab. It's amazing.
Tab.
Watch. I think it's on Netflix. Watch Fly Me to the Moon.
You're like the second or third person that
great.
has said to me, I need to watch that movie. That's with Scarlett Johansson,
Yes.
whom I'm in love with.
Yeah.
And that guy, I can't remember the guy's name. Channing Tatum, I think
Yes,
it is.
exactly. You nailed it. They did a great job, and it's really, really interesting just about the creativity, the writing of it. But the part I like the best is they have this, I'm going to just call him like a director, a producer type movie, a Hollywood producer type. And he's eccentric, of course. And he walks into this big hangar, which is going to be a studio, and he looks around and he's just saying, "Okay, I need an 8-foot table of Tab right there." That's and I remembered like yesterday that when Tab, Fresca, Fanta all came to market, like I might have been 6 years old, right? So that's 54 years ago. And my dad had a small jewelry company, and he had one of those vending machines.
Yep.
And in that thing, there was Tab and there was Fresca. And I was like, Tab. Oh, this is good. And then it was, of course, and then, my mom, she drank Sanka.
Sanka, the instant coffee.
Decaffeinated
Sanka.
instant coffee.
It's brown water.
Exactly. And then she would take it with boiling hot water and then put an ice cube in it. I'm like, why don't you just make it with tap water? It's the same thing. Anyways,
Don't talk back to me.
Yeah, I digress. But so you're drinking a Fresca and I'm drinking Heineken, but that's par for the course.
That's all right.
Yeah, I got Tommy a little loopy today with some of the.
Did you?
We got off the bourbon and we got on this interesting Canadian whiskey. So it was basically like a golden egg. Egg. Oh, your favorite word.
Egg.
Easter egg I found at the liquor store when I was out there. So we tasted that and it was good. Give me a little hot burn now. So I went to the beer.
Yeah, Tommy, I always watch I love watching those old Westerns, and they come off the dusty trail riding that horse. Yeah, give me a whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, who wants a whiskey? Tommy's like that, man. Like, he enjoys that. He enjoys that stuff, and he'll sit there and drink it. And, like, I got to be in the mood to drink fucking bourbon or whiskey, man. I got to be hitting my stride to do that, But,
seriously, he's frying chicken. And he's sitting there and he's going at it. And I would be like, first of all, I'd be sweating. And second of all, I'd be drinking water like this. He comes over and he grabs the bourbon. And he's like, like, how is that refreshing? And then the other thing that he does is it's amazing, but it's like watching AI work, right? He drinks it and he has this like lock away memory for the taste, the mouthfeel, how much proof it has. And, he's like, oh, this tastes like, and he was mad at me because the week prior, he bought me a bottle of Weller. And Weller's by Buffalo Trace.
right.
But it's a level up for them.
That's his favorite thing, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought he mentioned that, yeah.
And so anyways, he came back today because I've been, with all the crap that's been going on, I've been drinking it. What's wrong with that? And so we like this much in the bottle. And he's like, that's supposed to be like weekly, not a daily. I go, no, this has been, you can call it an hourly, Tommy. It's good.
Yeah, he's got his daily drinker, his weekly drinker, his once a year drinker.
Once in a lifetime, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I did. That's how I built my bar. You basically have these floating shelves, and there's like a shelf that Sue can reach, and then there's a shelf that maybe, I can reach, maybe Luke. No, definitely Luke. But then there's the top shelf where I actually have to stretch to get to it. And somebody's like, I think you designed that a little high. It's like, no. The bottles I'm putting up there, nobody's freaking touching unless I'm giving it to them. So anyways, we gotta figure that out once that's done. We're getting there. All right. So we got 6 bottles in front of us.
We do.
And do we know anything about these bottles?
We don't. So let's, which one? Yeah.
So we
Sue said start at that end, finish here.
So we kind of, she said that before we mixed it up in a bag.
Correct.
So we have no clue.
All I know is this one's last.
Yes. Bear, bacon, maple, marinade, and barbecue sauce.
Wow. That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. And then, now, did you buy this before or after we did the beef bacon? Bear bacon. What's bear bacon? Bear doesn't have bacon.
That one was after.
Okay.
That was after, but the other ones are before.
Okay. So we I don't know if you could put this on our Italian
I don't know, but we're going to find out.
bacon BLT, but we're going to taste it and see if we like it. And then are we going to try to rate these? What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm just going to see if it's good or not.
Should probably. All right, we'll just line them up. All right. So what'd you do? You took it from here?
I just took it from there, and whatever cooties I got, you already got. So, well,
what?
Not what I was expecting.
What did you? First of all, what did you expect?
I don't know.
And what did you get?
Because you already fucked everything up because you took this from the middle, didn't you?
No, I took it from there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
You put it back in the middle.
Okay.
I did it right, folks.
Okay. No, you said the beer, bacon, the maple really comes through.
Yes.
I mean, it's like it's right off a blueberry pancake or something. Beer, bacon,
this
maple.
pork is fantastic too, by the way.
Yeah, they do a solid job there.
Yeah. Good bite.
That is really good and different. Like it. What are we up to
if
here?
you're looking, all right, so we got to talk about this. Here's the sauce guy, folks. When we go on our safaris, Charlie is basically drinking the sauce. He really he's a connoisseur.
It's the only way you can test it.
He wants to know what it is, how it's made, and he wants to taste it straight up for what it is. So he gets a shot glass full of sauce, and that's his first thing. So I'm the opposite. I'm a big rub guy. Ladies, mark that down in your notes. I'm going.
Yes, you are.
Sleeping alone tonight. So I don't usually, but I do love sauces, because especially when you get leftovers and seconds or whatever, a little different taste. But here we go. So 4 6s. That's a ranch, right? It says it.
4 6s. Isn't it the place on Yellowstone, the Texas ranch?
Yeah, it's a horse ranch.
Yeah, a horse ranch. I think that's 4 6s barbecue. I know. That's why I bought that.
Established in 1870. And I don't know what that word is. Oh, Southie, Texas? No. South Ryer? Can you see that? Southrie. The lights are tough in here, folks. It's not fully him. You got glasses right there.
Guthrie, Texas.
Guthrie, that's a G?
That's a G.
Oh, that's a G. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a G.
Guthrie, Texas.
All right, well,
which
4 6s.
Sounds like barbecue.
Ranch tested, cowboy approved, Wagon Boss original barbecue sauce.
Right. There you go. That's number 2 over here. We're going to give that one.
4 6s is a ranch, one of Texas' most legendary cattle and horse ranch, owned in part by writer and creator of Taylor Sheridan.
Guy wrote Yellowstone.
Okay, there you go.
Amongst so many other things. The guy's hot.
What do you mean he's hot?
Taylor Sheridan. He's like everything he writes turns to gold.
Oh, I thought you wanted to have sex with him.
He's a little rugged for me.
That I can't see.
That's sorry you can hear me sucking on this pork, guys, but
did you already have some? Because
yeah.
I fucked up. Well,
yeah.
Sorry, YouTube.
I want to taste some of that.
All right, so Really good. Number one. Totally different from the maple brown sugar. No, maple
Beer bacon.
beer bacon maple. This was super salty and sweet. I mean, saucy.
Yeah.
Saucy and sweet. This guy was mild.
That's the word I was going to use.
So it let the pork right through, and then it just kind of picked up in the back of your mouth.
Not overpowering at all.
All right, so far this is the best.
You like that one so far, the two.
Out of the two, this one's there.
Got a little kick at the end.
Yeah. Here, you do this one. Because maybe some garlic.
I get to do the head country. Figures. All right, we got the head country hickory smoke barbecue sauce, and my disposable glasses here so I can actually read this thing.
Disposable?
Well,
Crime scene glasses?
whatever you want to call them. Okay, where are they from? Oh, I don't know. But they've been around since 1947, so right after World War II, they got started.
We did well on that one, didn't we?
Yep. Welcome to head country.
Oh boy.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Told you I'd be sleeping alone tonight.
There's not much on here. It's just that they
Is there a
love
flavor profile to
hickory smoke.
That's it. Oh, hickory smoke. Okay.
Hickory smoke barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
There's a little story on the back, but
it's boring.
thank
Oh,
you.
here you go. I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see it. It's too small.
All right, let's give it a taste. Head country. Now, when you bought these, did you have any direction? Did you have?
No, I just went by. I was reading some of the reviews, and I just started out doing Sweet Baby Ray's and Kraft, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Got to branch out from
Everybody
that.
knows what those are. Now I'm
Good.
mixing the sauce together.
Good, basic. Definitely got the hickory going on in there.
Mild
Nah,
again.
I don't like this. So this is the last. This is third out of the three, and for me, because it didn't bring out a lot of oomph. Right? It wasn't like, hey, this is who I am, and you're going to taste me. I still don't know what it is other than the hickory, and the 4.6s for sure. Still number one because they had a nice clean taste, letting the pork through. So okay,
The beer bacon one is almost like a novelty
yeah,
flavor to
Yeah,
it.
you wanna-
Something you want to change it up, and
yeah. You want to have that flavor in your mouth.
yeah, you're not expecting it.
Right. Freelance Foods, bourbon barbecue. I get the good ones. Bourbon barbecue sauce, sweet, smoky, and spicy. Yeah, baby.
That's number 4.
Oh, look at this. Made with real Kentucky bourbon.
Tommy, you're missing out, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save this for Tommy and get his
I'll be
opinion
drinking
on this.
shots of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, Bob was telling me about his son who was overseas with the ROTC. Is that no? What's the
Military police, National Guard.
National Guard? Thank you. He was in the National Guard, and so he was overseas, and they stopped off at another country before they head back, and they had this bourbon tour that they were on, and they had this opportunity to actually mix their own bourbon like flavor or essence, and then bottle it. So it's kind of cool. Then now I guess.
Well, now we know why it looks like a freaking whiskey bottle, right?
See that? I always think.
This is a lot different than the other 3. A lot different.
Last time I saw whiskey bottles like that, Brian O'Malley sold it to me. Why did he always have like liquor for sale?
It's Irish.
Did you taste this yet?
Yes.
It's good.
That's got a kick to it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot different, much
And it kicks
much
you
more
later, too.
powerful than the other ones.
Wow, it's got a good. It heats up on the way around.
Well, you can't call that mild. That's not mild at all.
No.
Wow.
All right, so I'm going to move it to number 2.
Okay.
I still say number 1, number 2,
Yep.
3, 4.
Okay.
Now you get the health rub. No, Heath rub. I was gonna say, you need the health rub.
No, this is Heath Riles barbecue and grilling sauce, sweet barbecue sauce. It says prepare for flavor. All right, you threw down the gauntlet right there. You better have your shit together.
Now you're just pissing and moaning. So this is really nice of you. I'm glad you took this initiative. It's a great idea.
I figured you would enjoy it.
No, I hate it. Make it stop.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Wow. That's almost Asian. Like an Asian style barbecue sauce.
Why do you look at me when you say that?
Don't get me in trouble.
Like a Korean.
Right?
Yeah, I got
The
that.
sweetness.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see that on some spare ribs or...
Yeah. No, that's good. Now I'm perplexed. Maybe 3.
Honestly, I didn't expect the variety we're getting right now.
No, I didn't either. I'm going to call these no-name sauces because I never heard of them.
Yep.
Like you said, it's
Craft
Baby
sauces
Ray's, right?
are- yeah.
Baby Ray or something. But none slouch, which makes me nervous. So if you, as you said on the preset to this, is we got to learn from this. We got to come up with a flavor profile. We have them, folks. There's definitely a way I like to cook, and Tommy the same thing, Chip the same thing that we have in our baseline flavor profile, and now we just got to make sure that flavor profile can be.
We obviously can't slack. They've obviously thrown down the gauntlet here, and if we're gonna put something on with our name, Wise Guys Barbecue on it,
Yeah,
it better be serious.
no, for sure. But to your point, to our point, it's like you got to use this. You're gonna use a pork one. You're gonna use a pork one. You're gonna do one for chicken. You got to be different types of rubs, but it's got to have the same profile that we agree on. And
Yep.
and tasting these different items here, there's definitely that process being accomplished.
Like, how would you?
Like, yeah, what are you going to go?
Like,
through?
how would you
Seriously.
know? Like, how,
Go through the market, start reading them. I don't think it's like that.
you got to know. You got to really know what you like. But even if you know what you like you until you try these, you're not really going to get what they're all about until you actually taste them.
All right, so I'm doing this one the way it says. It tells you to drench.
And folks, by the by, none of these are breaking the bank. Every one of them was under $20.
That's a great point. I was going to ask you.
They were not expensive. So that's the other point.
So a lot of people, I think, is going to recognize this name, Traeger.
Yep.
This is a Traeger sauce. It's drench your wood fire meat in this smoky sauce for a match made in barbecue heaven. I often wondered if there was a barbecue heaven. I think there is. I'm a believer.
Listen, there's a heaven. Okay, if you're into barbecue, there'll be a
There's a barbecue
section for you.
I'm in heaven.
Okay, I mean it's good.
It is good. It's refreshing. It's not super. It doesn't have one bold dynamic taste.
No,
that
it's more
pulls you away
traditional,
from-
right? More traditional, what you
Yeah.
would think of as a barbecue sauce off the top of your head.
Absolutely. Well, that was a delight. Thank you for sharing. We'll put it back in rotation. So I'll get the barbecue police to come and get me out, throw me away. So
So do you remember your ranking?
I got the top
I
4.
think you went 1,
2. You're right.
2,
Yep. That was
3?
3, and then this was 4.
4, and then
Before I got here, and then I would have to say that one there. The what's that called?
the sweet barbecue sauce, the Heath. I'm drooling all over the mic. Heath Riles sweet barbecue sauce.
I'd move that up to 3.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Again, it's a very specific flavor,
Yep.
like the beer bacon one.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be your go-to every weekend barbecue sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's more like I said, like a change up.
Yep.
From your usual stuff.
Yeah. I would definitely out of these 6, I would spend money on at least 4 of them.
Yeah.
And like you said, I would try to use them for different meats and different occasions.
Yeah.
And
well, we'll do just that.
Yep. Well, that was awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Good time.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll do more of that, folks. We'll figure other stuff out to taste for you.
Folks, thank you very much for joining us for another week of Wise Guys Barbecue Podcast. And, I know everybody knows this, I think anyways, but a lot of people ask me constantly, I can't find you. I'm like, what are you looking up? Wise Guys Barbecue. It's Wise Guys BBQ, right? So, on YouTube and those stations, you won't have a problem either with either word. But if you're looking for us on the internet, we're wiseguysbbq.com. Something that we're going in is going to be new for us on there is we're going to have a barbecue resource page. So our cooks that we do, the videos that we do in our cooks, you'll be able to go and get recipes and hear about comments that are going back and forth about them, where they came from, or why they exist. I mean, some of the things we do, we truly do because we try to do this Italian spin on a barbecue thing. So that's cool. So check that out. Please like and subscribe. We're getting there. We need a bunch more. And we're so excited. We're going to have more competitors on, and cooks on. I ran into a good friend of mine, Chris Phillips, just on, it was a Friday night. And he was telling me about he's like, hey, you still doing that podcast? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Why aren't you watching it? But I said, what's going on? He said he's got a new one that he's considering, Gutwood.
Those guys.
Yeah. So his wife does the marketing for it. He's going to kick it off, and he's basically what happened. His father passed, left him a whole bunch of woodworking tools, and he loves that stuff. So he's going to start making like picture frames and stuff like that. So, anyways, I won't mention where he's from and why. If you know him, you already know him. But what we love him for, he's a great chef and he's a great friend. He has us, come inside his restaurant whenever we want and do whatever the hell we want. So he's contemplating coming over. He loves Tommy the Butcher. He wants to come over and cook with Tommy. Awesome. So we'd like to get him on here, combine him with maybe an afternoon cook and a podcast. And then the same thing with Andy Textera. I'm going to reach out to him again. Already talked to Rico Pasquale. Already have plans with Mike Piera, with Big Dan from Big Dog Sauce.
Yep.
You know those guys, what they're doing, right? The Triple Crown?
Yes.
So they're really excited about that. They're promoting that. You get a belt buckle. If you win that, by the way, you get a belt buckle. I think that's so cool. So I want to get those guys on here. So we're going to have a lot more people on here, busting your barbecue the way it should be.
Awesome.
So
speaking of Andy, when's that dinner? That dinner he has, when we want to go to that this year.
Yeah, so that didn't work out for him last year for 2 issues. It's in July. To answer your question, It's in July. It's usually first weekend right after the 4th. So depending on when the 4th falls, it's in July. They're called the Newport Vineyard Fire Dinner.
Right.
There was something going on at that time. I don't know if it was high winds.
It was the weather.
It was the weather.
Yep.
And he got bumped out, and he said, "No, we're gonna wait it out." And what I didn't know, they do it that time of year because that's a real slow. For me, I think 4th of July wouldn't be a slow time of the year, but I guess people traveling and stuff, it is a slow time of the year, so that's why they do it. So he told me they were going to move it out to the fall, and then like anything else, they got super slammed with business. Because they do such a great job up there. He couldn't pull it off last year, so it got bumped. But I'm sure he's going to get it back on the docket for this year, and we definitely want to go to that because that's fun all the way around, right? It's barbecue. It's true life barbecue. He basically cooks Santa Maria style, but he makes all his stuff, right? He's got wood triangles up.
Yeah, he puts together his all his apparatus himself.
Yep, he's got fishes hanging off.
So
chains
imaginative, right?
Yeah. No, he's great. He's got a lot of knowledge of barbecue, and he just does a great time.
Yeah,
And
we're
then-
going to catch up with him again. He's
so
a, he's
the other
a
thing
treat.
they do up there at Newport Vineyards is they have an internship with a few colleges. So they get college help in for the season.
That's right. Yep.
And he
remember
basically
that.
trains these folks, or challenges these folks to be different kinds of cooks, because everything they do, is local market goods. So he's really it really mixes it up nice, and it's great for if you guys want good food. You go up there. They have, and I can't believe I'm going to say this when I'm talking about barbecue and all this great food, but they have this cheese board up there that it's all made from all local cheeses in Rhode Island. And it's just fantastic, the different tastes that are going on that board. So it's well worth it. But plus, it's a fun place. Every Wednesday night they have music in the summer because they open up their balcony. So it's a good fun place to be. So we got to get him back down here.
Yeah, we'll check that out, definitely.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll catch up with you real soon.
Have a good night.
Peace.